All right, so we need to talk. Like seriously, sit down and have a real conversation about Bleach. And I know, some of you are probably rolling your eyes right now thinking, oh great, another Bleach video. But hear me out for a second, okay? I was literally you guys not that long ago. Like, how many of you right now are in that weird spot where everyone's talking about TYBW, posting these gorgeous animation clips, and you're just sitting there nodding along, pretending you totally get it? Show of hands. Well, you can't actually show hands, but you know what I mean, because that was me for years. Someone would mention Bankai, and I'd be like, oh yeah, totally, Bankai. Love that stuff, while internally having absolutely zero clue what they were talking about. It's embarrassing, but we've all been there, right? So I finally caved and watched it, and now I'm here talking to you about why you should probably stop putting it off too. And look, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's gonna change your life or cure your depression or whatever, but it might just be that series you've been looking for. Sound fair? Okay, so first question, everyone's thinking, why should I care about another shonen anime? Fair point. Like, we've all seen the normal kid gets powers set up a million times, right? Naruto did it, Dragon Ball did it, My Hero did it. So what makes Bleach different? And here's the thing, it's not necessarily what Bleach does differently, it's how well it executes the formula. You know how some anime feel like they're trying too hard to be unique and end up being weird for the sake of being weird? Bleach doesn't do that. It knows exactly what it wants to be and just does it really well. Take Ichigo, for example. Raise your hand if you're tired of protagonists who want to be the strongest or change the world. Again, metaphorical hand raising. Ichigo just wants his friends to be safe. That's it. Simple motivation, but it's consistent and relatable. How many of us can actually relate to wanting to become Hokage, but wanting to protect the people you care about? Yeah, we get that. And can we talk about the art style for a second? Because this is where Bleach immediately grabbed me. Kubo has this ability to make everyone look effortlessly cool. Like, you know how some characters are designed to look badass, but they try too hard and it feels forced? Bleach characters just exist and somehow look iconic. It's weird, and I can't explain it, but you'll see what I mean. The world building starts simple too, which I appreciate. Some anime dump their entire mythology on you in episode 1 and expect you to keep up. Bleach is like, okay, here's the basic situation, we'll explain more as we go. It respects your intelligence, which is refreshing. Okay, so I can already hear some of you typing in the comments, but what about the filler? What about the length? I heard it gets weird later on. And look, I get it. These are valid concerns, and I'm not gonna pretend they don't exist. The filler thing, yeah, there's filler, a decent amount of it. But can I ask you something? How many of you have watched Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball? Every long-running shonen has filler. That's what episode guides are for. You can literally skip entire arcs if you want to stick to the main story. And honestly, some of the filler isn't even that bad. I'm not saying it's all masterpiece television, but there are some genuinely fun episodes in there. But if you're really worried about it, just follow a filler guide and watch the canon stuff. Problem solved. As for length, okay, I need you to be honest with me here. How many hours have you spent watching seasonal anime that you completely forgot about 2 weeks after they ended? I'm not calling you out specifically, we've all done it, but you're telling me you don't have time for a series that people are still talking about 15 years later. Think about it this way. Would you rather watch 12 different okay seasonal anime or invest that same time in something that might actually stick with you? Just saying. So what actually makes Bleach compelling? And I'm asking this as someone who went in pretty skeptical, by the way. I wasn't expecting to get as invested as I did. First off, the characters feel real. And I don't mean realistic in a they act like normal people way, because they don't. I mean, they feel like actual individuals with their own motivations and problems, not just functions in a story. Like, how many of you have watched anime where the supporting characters exist purely to make the protagonist look good? You know what I mean? They're just there to be impressed by the main character or need rescuing or whatever. Bleach doesn't do that. These people have their own goals, their own relationships, their own character development that matters. And the friendships, they feel earned. You know how some anime try to tell you these people are best friends, but you never see why they actually like each other? Bleach takes the time to show you how these relationships develop. When characters care about each other, you understand why. The power system is genuinely interesting too, and I'm trying to explain this without spoiling anything. Basically, the weapons in this series have personalities. They're not just tools, they reflect who their users are as people. So character development literally shows up in how someone fights. That's smart writing. But here's what really got me. The series isn't afraid to let characters be wrong. People make bad decisions, face real consequences, have to actually grow and change. That sounds obvious, but think about how many anime just don't do this. Characters stay static or only change when the plot demands it. Now, let's talk about why this anime looks good, because that matters more than we sometimes admit, right? I mean, we're watching animation. If it doesn't look good, that's kind of a problem. Bleach has this distinctive visual style that just works. The character designs age really well, Like, you can watch older episodes and they still look solid because the fundamental designs are so strong. It's not trying to be the most detailed or the most flashy. It's just consistently good looking. And the fight scenes, they have this flow to them that I really appreciate. Characters aren't just trading big energy attacks. There's strategy, positioning, psychological warfare mixed with the physical combat. The better fights feel like conversations between different fighting philosophies, if that makes sense. Plus, with TYBW bringing modern animation techniques to these character designs, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, if you've seen any clips from the new season, you know what I'm talking about. It's the same great designs with current animation technology, and the result is beautiful. The series also does something really smart with power levels. It makes them visible and tangible. When someone powerful shows up, you can literally feel the weight of their presence. It's not just, trust us, this guy is strong. You can see it, which makes the stakes feel more real. So here's what I'm thinking, and tell me if this sounds familiar. You're caught up on your seasonal stuff, maybe you're between series, looking for something with some actual substance to sink your teeth into. Something that's not gonna disappear from your memory the moment you finish it. Or maybe you're in that phase where you want something that feels more mature, not mature like explicit content, but mature like it doesn't talk down to you. Bleach treats you like an adult who can handle complex character motivations and moral ambiguity. The themes in the series, identity, duty, what it means to protect people, the weight of responsibility, these aren't just surface level concepts that get mentioned once and forgotten. They're woven throughout the entire story, explored through character actions and consequences. And can I be real with you for a second? There's something satisfying about finally understanding what people have been talking about. Like, you know that feeling when you finally watch a show everyone's been referencing and suddenly all those memes make sense? That's what this is. Plus, the community around Bleach is genuinely passionate. These aren't just casual fans, these are people who have been invested in these characters for years. When you join that conversation, you're joining something that has real depth and history, and timing-wise, perfect moment to jump in. TYBW is ongoing, the animation is stunning, and having the emotional investment makes every moment hit different. You get to experience the payoff of years of character development. Okay, but let's set realistic expectations here, because I don't want to oversell this. Bleach isn't perfect. No anime is. It has pacing issues sometimes, some arcs work better than others, and yeah, it gets pretty wild in later parts. But here's what I've learned. Perfect is often boring. The flaws make it interesting. The series takes risks, tries different things, and sometimes they don't all land. But when it works, when it really works, it's special. And look, maybe you'll watch the first few episodes and decide it's not for you. That's totally fine. Not every series clicks with every person. But what if it does click? What if this ends up being one of those series you recommend to other people 5 years from now? I'm not asking you to commit to all 366 episodes right now. Just watch the first few episodes. See if the style and characters grab you. If they do, keep going. If they don't, you've lost a few hours. That's like 2 episodes of a seasonal anime you probably would have forgotten anyway. And honestly, even if you don't end up loving it, you'll finally understand what people are talking about when they discuss Bleach. You'll get the references, understand the hype, be able to participate in those conversations properly. So let me ask you something, and I genuinely want to know this, so drop it in the comments. What's actually stopping you? Is it the length, the filler, just haven't gotten around to it, something else entirely? Because I'm curious about the psychology here. Like, we'll binge entire seasons of shows in a weekend, but somehow a long-running series feels intimidating. Why is that? Is it the commitment factor? The fear that we'll get invested and then disappointed? And for those of you who are already Bleach fans, help me out here. What would you tell someone who's on the fence? What hooked you initially? What keeps you coming back to discussions about it years later? I think there's something to be said for series that have staying power, you know? Seasonal anime come and go, but people are still passionate about Bleach 15 years later. That has to mean something, right? And maybe that's what we're all looking for, not just entertainment, but something that sticks with us, something we can revisit, discuss, think about, something that becomes part of our personal anime history instead of just content we consumed. All right, so here's where we are. I've told you why I think Bleach is worth your time. I've been honest about the flaws, realistic about the commitment, and tried not to oversell it. Now it's up to you. But here's what I'm gonna suggest, and this is just a suggestion, not a demand. Give it a shot. Not all of it, not right now, just the beginning. See if it clicks. If Kubo's art style grabs you, if Ichigo's personality works for you, if the world seems interesting, and you know what? Document the experience. Come back and tell me what you thought. Did it hook you? Did it feel like what you were expecting? Are you planning to continue? I genuinely wanna know. Because that's what this community is about, right? Sharing experiences, recommending things to each other, having conversations about what we love and why we love it. That's the good stuff. If this convinced you to give Bleach a chance, let me know with a like. If you're a longtime fan who enjoyed hearing a newer perspective, like works too. And subscribe if you want more conversations like this. We're shooting for 50 Kelvins, and honestly, this community has been incredible so far. What are you gonna watch next? Are you team Bleach now, or are you still thinking about it? Let me know in the comments. I read all of them, and I love hearing from you guys. Thanks for hanging out and having this conversation with me. I'll catch you in the next one, and until then, go watch some anime. Life's too short for empty plan to watch list.